If you have a question, you just have to raise your hands and we'll come to you and we will really try to the best of our ability to answer truthfully and sincerely whatever question you may have. Even if you think your question is antagonistic to us, don't worry about it. The fact that we stand up in the public means that we must be questioned by the public, and we cannot be antagonistic to you because you dare to ask a question. Please feel free to ask whatever you feel, however negative it may be or positive it may be. The final thing I want to say is that the reason I'm standing on the platform is because I came out to lecture and I came out to answer questions. If you are here to give a lecture, please go and erect a platform. I guarantee you at least one idiot will come and listen to you. But don't waste my time trying to lecture to me. Ask me a question and I will try to answer your question. Not you first, lady first. Yes, ma'am. The question from the lady to my right is, how can so many people in the name of Allah go and strap bombs to themselves and blow themselves up and kill innocent people, I believe in Israel? Riding in buses and in cars and in public places. The question that she asked is a very important question.
Go ahead.
And the answer is equally as important. And I hope that the lady who asked the question will listen sincerely to the answer.
Teach, Muhammad.
The answer to that question is this. As a woman, as a human being, you have as much right of existence on this planet as any other human being. There is not one human being that was ever born that is your superior.
Teach to your left, bro.
Every human being is given the same rights of existence by Allah as every other human being. The Palestinian people have had since 1948 a foreign people imposed upon them by the Allied powers. It's written in history. It is not something I'm making up. The Palestinians were deliberately pushed out, displaced from their land. They were taken over, and Israelis from Europe, people from Europe, many of them Zionists in their outlook, people from Russia and Germany and other parts of Europe were placed in that land. From that day to this day, those people have been under persecution and oppression. Those people have no power to displace or to remove the occupying forces. Their lands are occupied. Each time they've tried to resist, they've lost more land, until the land that they have is getting less and less and less. The Israelis have become so powerful that they have weapons from America, weapons from Britain, weapons from all over the world. They have the most sophisticated war machine in the whole of the Middle East. They are so powerful that they could fight many Arab nations all at once and defeat them all at once, even though they are a small nation. This is the reality of what's taking place there. The Palestinians, in this book, the Quran, Allah says that persecution is worse than slaughter. Persecution is worse than slaughter. In other words, you can get to a stage in life where you would rather die than live another day under persecution. At the event in September the 11th, when the people found themselves in the Twin Towers with flames behind them, people who that morning went to work, normal, sane people.
Go ahead.
Not soldiers, not warriors, but office workers, pushing pens and paper. When the flames were rising behind them, the people were left with a choice: be burnt, be incinerated by the heat the persecution of the flame behind, or choose another form of death by jumping from a building that determined that they would die. Under those circumstances, when you have to choose between a fiery death, persecution that makes your life intolerable, or a death where you say to hell with it, let me take the loved one, the person I love, by the hand and we'll jump together. Or if I can see some of my enemies who are persecuting me living in luxury while me and my people suffer, then let me kill myself and take as many of them with me, because maybe as a result of my death, my people may ultimately get free. And so the Palestinians reach a point of desperation.
No one hears the cry. No.
Where they have, see, you don't want to, see, that's what I'm saying. Straight away you start talking, because you don't like truth.
Go ahead.
They have no weapons to fight tanks.
That's right.
They have no weapons to fight aeroplanes.
Teach, Mohammed.
When the people have no weapons to defend themselves, they will use their own bodies as the weapon. If that's all they've got.
That's all they've got.
See, like for instance, here we are, Nation of Islam. No weapons. Where's my weapon? Here it is. It's my tongue. Do you know how many people come into Hyde Park and say, oh, I think we hear violence. You lot are so violent. You really upset me. You really intimidate me. Why? Because I'm speaking.
Yeah.
But go outside Buckingham Palace. They're standing there with rifles. All around us, armed police.
Yes.
You're not intimidated by that, but you're intimidated by a black man opening his mouth and speaking truth. In the last resort, people will use what they've got.
Teach, Mohammed.
They will use their bodies. I've got to say this to you. See, white people, Malcolm X said it this way. Malcolm X said, every morning when white people wake up from their beds,
Go ahead, black man.
he said the first thing that the white man should do when he wakes up in the morning, he said he should get on his prayer mat.
Go ahead, black man.
The white man. He said you should get on your prayer mat, pray to God, and thank God over and over and over again
Go ahead, black man.
that black people don't think like white people.
Go ahead, black man.
Because if we thought like you, none of you would be on the planet today.
That's what.
If we were as vengeful as you, if we wanted to be like you or think like you, you would not be around today, because we would be justified.
That's right.
We would be justified in killing you outright based on what you have done to us. But we don't, thankfully, we don't think like you, because the reality is that as a people, if we were to strap bombs to ourselves because of our persecution,
That's right.
we would be justified. The IRA have not suffered nothing like black people suffered in the Western Hemisphere over 400 years. But the IRA, white people,
Go ahead, black man.
would blow up other white people
Go ahead.
because they were so angry that they were being governed and ruled from Westminster.
They never bombed
Yet we have been governed and ruled.
Mohammed, they never bombed Ireland for the terrorists.
That's right.
Yes, they never.
They didn't get together, no task force to go now and bomb the Irish people into smithereens as a result of Irish terrorism, like what they're proposing to do in Baghdad.